Welcome everyone. So today we will be talking about container, Docker and Docker Hub. So let us start. So first of all, what is a container? Container is a lightweighted implementation of virtualization. Second, it enables the application to work irrespective of the operating system. So let us assume I am having an application which is made in Ubuntu and I want that application to work on Windows platform. So what can I do? I can use containers for that purpose. So next, it enhances the portability of software by wrapping all the essentials within a container. So that's what we already discussed in previous step. It enables portability, means that our software can be wrapped inside a container and that container can be ported to another application. Say if I want to give my software with all its credentials or its essentials to some another person. So in that case, I can just make a container and then port that container to that person. So next we will be discussing why to use containers, what are its benefits. So see, if I'm a developer and I want to make certain application. So what are the basic requirements for the applications? So first of all, I will be requiring certain operating system, and then let us say it is a Java based application, then I will require JDK. Then MySQL if I have to perform MySQL connectivity or if I have to perform some databases related tasks. Then MySQL connector. So it is a library that will be forming a connection between Java and MySQL database. So next, it may also require certain additional dependencies, and then there will be a source code developed by me. So see, I have made a software and I want a testing team to test that software. So what they will require? So they will require the same things to be installed on their systems so that they can test my software. Again, they will require the same operating system, Windows 10. They may require the same JDK. They may require the same MySQL, same version. MySQL connector will be same, should be same, and additional dependencies. All these requirements should be met at the tester side also, so that the software can perform as good as it was working on the developer side. So, what can be the solution? So, there are two possible solutions for that. So here we are having two options. One is making use of the virtual machine and second is using containers. So if we use a virtual machine, so in that what we can do, we can make a virtual machine and inside that virtual machine we can install certain operating system and inside that operating system we can place all our packages, dependencies, our source code and everything we can place there and run there and execute there, and then we can pass the entire image of that virtual machine on to the testing personnel for testing. The main limitation is that the image of virtual machine itself is very heavy because we are having the entire operating system installed inside the virtual machine. So the size of operating system itself becomes approximately about 20 GB plus other dependencies that we have installed inside that operating system. So it becomes very difficult to port. So the next option we are having containers. So in containers, as we have already discussed, containers are very lightweighted. So if we talk about the container of Ubuntu, it is of 150 MB approximately. So what I can do, I can take that container and inside that container I can install all the required packages and then I can port the image of that container to the testing personnel. So this becomes very lightweighted and very handy. So this is the main advantage of container over the virtual machines. So let us try to understand this concept with the help of an example. So let us say I have to travel somewhere. So one option is that I can carry my entire house because house is containing my bed, it is containing my bedroom, it is containing my washroom, it is containing my kitchen, it is containing my clothes and all my essential elements which I require in my daily life. So one option is that I can carry my entire house. And second option is that I carry the items which are of my personal use. Say I can carry my clothes, I can carry my toothbrush, I can carry my towel, I can carry my other belongings which are of daily use to me, like my socks, my shoes, and the rest. What I can do, I can stay in certain hotel. So what here I am doing, I am making the use of the resources of the hotel. Say here I'm using the bed of the hotel, I'm using the room of a hotel, I'm using washroom of the hotel, and the things which are of my personal use that I'm carrying with myself. So same is the concept of container. So the image of container carries the most important libraries that are required by particular operating system in that, and it uses the kernel of the host operating system. So hotel is like a host operating system. The main resources of hotel will be used, and I will be carrying my personal resources with myself. So let us proceed further. So what is a Docker? It is a software that facilitates containerization. It acts as a middleman between container and a host operating system. It helps the container to use the resources and kernel of the host operating system. So here we can see that the Docker particularly, it acts as it is a software which acts as a middleman between the host operating system and our containers. So we will see the diagram in further slides. So see, this is the basic architecture of uh, containerization that is happening there. So first of all, we have a hardware. On that hardware, we have a host operating system. And on that operating system, Docker is installed. Docker further can have multiple containers running in that. So here we can see that Docker is facilitating containers to use the resources of host operating system and hardware resources. So see here, if we carry the entire house to travel with us, it is a virtual machine style. And if we carry all the items which are necessary to us and use the hotel or use the resources of our host operating system, then it is a container style. So let us see a difference between containerization and virtual machine. So as we can see here, in containerization we have hardware resources, and on that hardware we are having host operating system installed, and on host operating system we are having Docker installed, and on Docker we are having multiple containers. So this Docker is facilitating these containers to make use of the hardware resources through host operating system. It also facilitates the containers to make use of the kernel of host operating system. So it acts as a middleman here. So when we come to the virtual machine, so here we can see on the base we are having hardware resources, and on them we are having host operating system installed. On that we are having hypervisor installed, and on hypervisor we have made several virtual machines, and on those virtual machines we are having guest operating system installed, and on those guest operating system further we can have different applications installed on them. So let us proceed further and see what is Docker Hub. So what is the Docker Hub? Docker Hub is an online repository of container images. We can pull the existing images from Docker Hub. We can even push the modified images to the Docker Hub, and we can share the images with the Docker Hub. So one more thing we will try to understand, that what is the difference between image and a container. When it is not running, it is a static thing, it is an image, and when it is in a running state, means it is running with the help of Docker, then it is a container. So this is a basic difference between image and a container. I might have used these terms in our discussion earlier, so this is just for the sake of clarification. So that's all for today's video. In next video we will be discussing about the installation of Docker and basic Docker commands. Thank you.